This video contains information that may not be suitable for children. Parental discretion is advised.
Today's video was originally going to be a reaction to what El Guapo and Kevin Samuels had to say about Will and Jada Smith. Instead, I want to ask my brothers who like to get your game for dealing with women by watching YouTube, are you a winner or are you weak? The reason Will is having problems with Jada is because he's weak. Now, there's a difference between rich and being wealthy, brothers. Will has a lot of money, so he's rich, but he's not wealthy. Do you like to watch red pill content because you are as weak as Will, so you are afraid that you might get dogged by a woman like Jada? At what point are you going to stop living in fear of women and man up? God made a woman to help you become wealthy, but if you are weak, she'll dog you. Now, brothers, this situation is not entirely your fault, okay? Because I have to put the blame for your weakness as it relates to women on my generation of men. See, we were supposed to be your fathers and mentors. We were supposed to teach you how to deal with women, but we failed you. So let's talk about it.
I can see him again.
One of the reasons a man won't get in the boxing ring is because he knows that he'll get beat up. Red pill cats with YouTube channels argue against marriage because they are afraid to get beat up by a girl. See, weak men know that they don't know what they need to know in order to have success with women, but they don't want anybody to know that they don't know. Therefore, they hide in the shadows, hoping that they can secretly learn what they need to know. So they sit in the dark in front of their computer or their TV, hoping to get the knowledge that they need from red pill cast. But here's a Muppet news flash. The only thing that you're going to get from the red pill community or the so-called YouTube manosphere is the negative side of women. They cannot give you the positive side for two reasons, all right? Number one, they will be called a simp or blue pill. And number two, you can't make money on YouTube with positive content. The guys who have the most negative content make the most money because they engage the audience emotionally by making them angry. Now, why did Kevin Samuels blow up? It's because he made women angry. My goal for producing YouTube content is not to make money, but to help you get what you want. If your goal for watching YouTube is to learn how to be successful with women, you are not going to get the knowledge that you need from these red pill Nancy boys. See, they make their money by keeping you sitting there so that the advertisers can get direct access to you. These cats are entertaining you, not educating you. You see, the word entertain means to maintain. And the purpose of entertainment is to keep you stuck in the same position so that you keep watching those commercials. Now, if you started watching red pill content last year, your situation or status with women did not change this year, and it will not change next year. You will just keep sitting there year after year, never getting what you want, just becoming more and more angry. So guys, if you want to keep getting what you're getting, just keep doing what you're doing, all right? But if you are tired of getting what you're getting, stop watching red pill and manosphere channels and choose YouTube content that will teach you how to increase your man Q, okay? Choose channels that will teach you how to have success with women, how to be married after you get married, and how to build a legacy of wealth for your family. Otherwise, you will continue to be weak when it comes to women.
What exactly do you want?
I just want you to respect me and April. I really want you to give us our space. Me and April have laid down.
What does that mean? You won't give us space. What does that mean?
I want you to give us space. Can you please just stop coming over?
Quit asking him, please, man. This dude done told you what he gonna do.
Stop coming to the house unexpected. Stop inviting yourself out when me and April are on our dates. Can you please just stop? Just stop doing it. Stop doing it.
Listen
I got you.
Please.
Okay,
I'm open to that.
Now, when it comes to alpha men, I'm Optimus Prime. I'm the man of men, all right? I've been some of the most dangerous places in the world and got out alive. Men have tried to shoot me, but I took their gun. Men have tried to stab me, but I took their knife. Men have tried to beat me up that I left sleeping on the sidewalk, okay? I was trained as a boxer when I was younger, So I have knockout power in both hands, along with what my trainers call a one-hitter quitter. See, my hands were so fast and powerful, you would be taking a nap before you knew it. Now, I'm not bragging. Those are just facts. And one of the reasons why I produce YouTube content is to help men increase their man Q by making the transition from adult male to real man. But I am running into too many adult males who are mentally and spiritually weak or to break out of their feminine frame due to being raised by a feminist woman. And I'm seeing too many guys who claim to be men who act more like feminist women. They complain about strong feminist women because that type of woman can see that they are not real men. Now, brothers, I was born in the 50s, right? And I came up in the 60s when the feminist movement first began. I saw it when it first started, and I see what it has become today. The one thing about the feminist movement that I can say for sure is it would not be what it is today if the men of my day were not weak. The men when I was growing up were too weak for coochie to fight the feminist movement and to kill it while it was a baby. See, they were more interested in having free sex than protecting children and preserving family. Men let the feminist movement thrive because women offered them free sex without marriage or responsibility. And one-night stands were in back then, and men just went all in. See, these men didn't realize that since the beginning of time, sex has caused mighty men to fall and great civilizations to fall as well. And prior to the feminist movement, men had to marry the woman that they wanted to have sex with regularly. And yes, there was adultery, cheating, and every sexual sin imaginable going on back then. But the moral standards of society back in that day was so Puritan that it was frowned on. And in fact, there were laws against even married couples having booty sex, okay? And many states still have laws on the books against it. And men were allowed abortion. They allow abortion to get out of hand so that women could be free to get rid of their unwanted pregnancies. And men left the women who wanted to keep their babies. And it's those women who have been raising generation after generation of weak men and independent women. The majority of adult males that you see on YouTube, brothers, complaining about women or warning other men about marriage, they were raised by a weak man or a feminist woman. Their constant complaining about women reveals that they are weak and feminine. See, strong men don't complain about feminist or strong women. Every strong feminist woman understands immediately when she is in the presence of a real man. And the ones who want a man, they automatically begin to listen to him and they start plotting ways to get him. Strong women have no problem submitting to a real man, but it's only the weak guys that these women won't submit to. Women do everything they can in their power to hold on to a strong man, but it's only the weak guys who have to worry about a woman divorcing them after they get married. Now, the reason a woman like Jada can do what she's doing to Will is because he's weak. He brought into her idea of having an open relationship so that he can have sex with other women without consequence. Will tried to date Karen Parsons, or the chick that played Hillary on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. See, he was the star of the show, a rich guy, but she wouldn't date him. And why? It's because Will is weak. He's a weak dude, and she can smell it on him. And too many of you red pill cats who were born from the mid-70s to 1990 are weak, all right? Women can see your weakness, so they either dog you or dismiss you. And you brothers did not have a real man to teach you about how to lead a woman, so you have no idea about how to do it. You guys don't know how to be married, so you're afraid to get married because a lack of knowledge produces fear. And brothers, fear of the unknown will cause a man to choose death over life. Now, there was a sadistic German guard during World War II who offered men a choice between standing before a firing squad and going through a closed door. When asked what was on the other side of that door, he said, a series of unknown horrors. And the thing that was actually on the other side of that door was the opportunity to walk away and not get shot that day. However, 99 out of every 100 men chose to be killed by the firing squad rather than take the risk of going through that door. Now, I have to put the blame for weak men, again, of this generation on the men from my generation, all right? Because we were weak for sex. We wanted to have the pleasure without the pressure of parenting. In the era of 70s and 80s feminism, where sex was free, men were just looking to have sex, but not babies. Therefore, too many men in my generation ghosted the women who wanted to keep their babies. So it's not entirely your fault that you don't know how to be a real man. Your fathers did not stay in the saddle long enough to break your mothers from their feminist mindset and tame them from being a rodeo horse to a riding horse. See, a rodeo horse believes that she should never let a man ride her, all right? You can F her, but you can't ride her. By contrast, a riding horse can be guided and can take you anywhere you want to go as long as you know how to handle her. Now listen, I can understand that you guys fear when it comes to women in marriage, all right? Half of the people born in from the 70s through the 90s whose daddy left them were also girls. See, they never received the unconditional love of a man, and they never saw their mothers have to deal with a real man. They were raised by their single mothers to be fearful of men. Therefore, they don't have a clue about how to make a marriage work either. See, they have a high need for love and affection and attention, but the only way they know how to get it from men is through sex. And consequently, fatherless women are having too much sex and too many babies with too many men, so they end up broken and becoming project women. Now, I'm bringing this up because I've been hearing a lot of guys lately cautioning other cats to stay away from project chicks. See, project chicks are usually single mothers, right? And since it takes a man and a woman to have a baby, these women did not get to be project chicks all by themselves. See, a man helped put her in that position where she would have to live in project conditions. And here's a Muppet newsflash. Whatever is wrong with a woman can be traced back to a man. And it goes without saying, of course, that her position as a result of her decision to have sex caused her to get pregnant by a man, but his decision to hit it caused her to become pregnant and to have to live in project conditions. So a lot of these women are enduring a lot of pain as a result, and it has created an imbalance in the universe, right? And whenever men cause this kind of pain in the universe, it calls upon men to fix it. Now, have you ever wondered why Jesus had to suffer the excruciating pain of dying on the cross? If he had to die for our sins, why couldn't he just die of a heart attack in his sleep? It's because sin causes a lot of pain, and in order to pay the price for pain, you must pay with pain. And that is what most people call karma, right? However, it is actually a universal law called excruciation. It works just like every other universal law, whether you know it exists or not, right? If you violate the law, you have to pay the price. Now, you may not know anything about the law of gravity, but if you walk off the top of a 10-story building, you are going to pay the price immediately. But under the law of excruciation, whatever caused a problem or imbalance in the universe, that thing or a like thing has to fix it. A man named Adam cast the plague and pain of sin on mankind, right? Therefore, a man named Jesus had to fix the problem that Adam created and relieve the pain he caused by paying the painful price of sin. And there's a lot of guys out here who are single with no children. All right, you brothers can reduce some of the pain and poverty in the Black community by first learning how to be a leader and increase your man Q so that you will know how to be married and create generational wealth for your family. And next, you need to find a woman who is single with no children also to marry and raise a family. Then we can restore the Black family and begin to build viable economies in every Black community across the country. And those of you who are fathers but have little or no contact with your children must repent. Now, brothers, it may be hard to get along with their mother, but you have to go back and be a father to your kids. All right? They need you to be a guiding influence in their lives. Otherwise, they will grow up to be just like you and do what you did. All right? Drop a seed and flee their responsibility. Then we will have another generation of weak men who want to have sex without consequence and broken project women struggling to raise children who are angry because their father left them. Our community, brothers, is in crisis because we are stuck in a perpetual cycle of fatherlessness. We have 4 generations of children now who are growing up without a daddy. And you can break that cycle by being a father to your children. And it won't be easy if you have a baby mama that's nutty, all right? And it won't be easy if you have a child who's angry. But like a boxer, you have to take some hits before you can stop a person from punching by getting them in a clinch. And an angry child really wants a dad to put them in a clinch so they can feel his strength, feel his love, and feel protected. Now, going back to your children, will require courage to endure the pain of anger. And the reason most men won't go back and get their kids is because they're weak, okay? They don't have the courage to face that kind of adversity or the strength to overcome it. And this is the same reason why these cats are afraid to get married. See, they don't have the courage to endure the painful process of becoming married after they get married. So they already know that they're going to end up divorced. See, they don't have the courage to take the risk because they already know that they're too weak inside. So they don't want a woman to get close enough to them to see their weakness. And one of their biggest fears, brothers, that weak men have is seeing the look in a woman's eyes the moment that she realizes that he is weak. They don't want to get married so that they can just run away from that woman without diminishing their financial status. Ephesians 5:25 says, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it." A real man understands that he must love his wife enough to sacrifice his life to save hers if need be. See, real men have the courage to take this risk and get married, and they know that you don't get any rewards in life without risk, okay? No risk it, no biscuit, right? But see, marriage is a business, and just like any other business, it requires taking the risk to achieve financial success, with the understanding that risk can also lead to financial failure. But true entrepreneurs who fail in business always muster up the courage to get up and start over again after they experience financial failure. See, they may sit down and cry for a few minutes, but then they get up, get back in the ring, and they start fighting again so they can win.
Say it with your chest.
True entrepreneurs, brother, are very similar in mindset to real men. See, they don't play 9 inning or 4-quarter games, okay? They play until they win. They keep fighting until they win or they die trying. Real men understand that life is not a spectator sport. You can't just sit up in the bleachers waiting for good things to come to you. They know that life will come up in the bleachers and slap you right in front of God and everybody. So if you are going to take some hits in life anyway, you might as well come down on the field and get in the game. And do you know the reason why the woman next to you in the stands is cheering for another man instead of you? It's because he's in the game and you're not. Now, if you get jealous because you see her cheering for him enthusiastically, it means that you're weak. Malachi 2:15 says, "And did he," meaning God, "make one, and wherefore one, or why did he make one? That he might seek a godly seed." And Proverbs 13:22 says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. See, God intended for marriage to be between a man and a woman. God intended for the union of that man and woman to produce godly children. Now, God understands, brothers, that it takes money to raise children, so he designed the family to be the primary organization for wealth generation. Now, if God expects you to leave a legacy of wealth for your children's children or your grandchildren, it means that he has already equipped you to get the job done. And brothers, it's easier for a man to become wealthy who is married. If you look at the statistics, 74% of wealthy men in America are business owners and 95% of them are married. There are very few multimillionaires and billionaires that are single. And if those guys do get married, you know what they do? They get married again. It's never too long before they get married again. Okay, so men who have a hell of a lot more to lose financially than you are not afraid to get married. But you have barely 2 nickels to rub together and you're worried about a woman divorcing you or breaking you financially when you're already broke, right? Men and women can do more together, brothers, than they can do apart. Getting a bag or building wealth requires a man and woman working together to leave a financial legacy for the next 2 or 3 generations. Well, that's all that I have for now. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share this video with your family and friends, and I'll be back with something new that nobody told you. Until then, remember that God loves you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'll see you next time on Maximizing Fatherhood.